Hello, everybody. I'm Jalen, and welcome to episode 16 of my Minecraft survival world. And it feels great to be back in this world on this beautiful morning, and we're just going to jump right into things today. We're going to build a tavern here. It's going to kind of work as the center of the villager island here, kind of the town center, and it's where I'll put the bell and have the villagers meet every day. And so it's pretty important building here. And yeah, a lot of times people ask that I'll do a tutorial and stuff like that, but that's just not something I really am looking into doing. It's not what I want my channel to be about, but I try to show my process best I can for the most part. And just so you know, this building is 15 by 13, so if you're trying to copy along, that's the main dimensions, and then besides that, I try to show the process best I can, and hopefully you can kind of just take a few tips and make something of your own. Just take some inspiration. That's the best way to do things, I think. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna let it run here for a minute and get the basics of the building up. We'll kind of break this into stages, and starting with just getting the basics of the building up. At this point, I was pretty happy with the size and the scale, and get a big roof on it. It's gonna fit this area nicely. I went to the mine area and grabbed my materials for the roof, which always takes a whole lot of materials, and extended the border out a little bit, just because I pretty much do that with all my builds, and then got going on the fun of putting a roof together. I really like the shape we got going for this roof here. Going with slabs for the bottom first couple rows really made the slope a little different than what I usually do, and I think it turned out real nice. Still takes lots of bricks to cover it all up, but they ended up looking real nice in the end. And then I just extended the entryways. I'm going to have an entrance on both sides here from both roads, and have to do a little roof on those as well. These roofs I'm going with a copper to fill in, and copper ends up kind of being a theme around here, and I'm really enjoying how it's coming out. Yeah, I think using the raw copper to fill this in here worked out really well. I think interesting block to use for that, but I really like it. Unfortunately, I'm going to need a whole lot more to actually finish the job, but copper's pretty easy to get when you're looking for it. But yeah, I got to be thinking, if I'm going to be starting to work with copper here, it's probably a good time to get going on my bee farm over here. And I've never built a bee farm before, so I'm excited to get going on that. I start by lowering things down to make sure that things are going to be at the right eye level and get my chest where I want it. But I just looked up a tutorial here from JC Plays, so I'm not going to show the process. I'm just going to show you that I got it done. If you want to see what I did, you can go check out his tutorial. Very simple, and it definitely works. So one thing I will show you though is me bringing the place to life a little bit, bringing the outside in and giving the bees a nice place to live. Got bringing the sky down just to blend things a little better, and yeah, I've really enjoyed working with bees. Like I think I said before, I think bees might be my favorite mob in all of Minecraft. And yeah, it's working there, starting to get some honeycomb built up, and I got a nice little place to live in here. And yeah, first view of the tavern from over here, and I'm seeing some changes I want to make to the roof shape a little bit, but just seeing the building come up, and it's just got me inspired to get a bunch more buildings up over there. I think it's going to really come together nicely. But in the spirit of trying to work on some old projects every episode, I went through and did a bunch of texturing on my microfarms over here just to liven things up a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but just getting some pops of color. I know it might be a little busy for some people, but I kind of like it this way. And it was quite a bit of work. Had to get a good night's sleep after that. And I didn't get the clip of me doing the honey farm, but we did put some honeycomb in there, which just to represent that it's the bee farm, and missed the barn as well. But I think it's looking good. A little crazy, but I like that it represents that it's a bee farm. And again, I like what we got going on the inside here. But for the most part, I think they all ended up just looking a lot better. And yeah, I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through and check how our farms have been doing here. Definitely a decent amount of melons here. I know I haven't done this since we built the area here. I haven't built the cow farm or the sheep farm or pig farm yet or anything in here, and I've been eating chicken out of there, so that we've got more chicken than that. Check the cactus farm over here. I haven't checked this since I built it. Probably more cactus than we'll ever use. And then up on the pumpkin farm, I've taken a few pumpkins here, but we're still looking pretty good. Kind of thought there would have been more in there, but I think the texturing's looking cool. Definitely just some colors popping out. I think the texture looks cool on this one as well. See how we're doing on sugarcane. Again, thought there could have been a little more, but definitely not bad for just a passive, small little farm here. So this area is producing pretty good for what it is. I haven't built these farms yet. I'll be making them villager wheat and carrot farms at some point. And then we got the bamboo farm here. And I did not realize that this would be the case. So I crafted all these into bamboo blocks, and then went ahead and got underneath and got a hopper going into another chest so that I at least have a couple chests, and I'll keep an eye on this to make sure it's not overflowing here before too long. I didn't realize how much bamboo that really creates, so that's good to know as far as I'll start using bamboo more for regular wood crafting recipes like sticks and all that. But yeah, I went and picked up a little more copper since I'm obviously needing that for my build. So we'll see how much 53 copper gets me with a Fortune 3 pickaxe. And that's quite a bit, more than I thought. So you get quite a bit of copper with a Fortune pickaxe here, but it was going to be nice to have. So I got finished filling in the raw copper on the faces of the roofs here, and I do like how it ends up looking. I think this raw copper is actually a block I've never used before, and I think it really pops and just looks cool and has a real cool texture. But before we get making the outside pretty, I wanted to do the inside first to make sure that I have everything kind of laid out and where it's going to go. So we're just going to jump into doing that and get the basis of the tavern kind of laid out here. Get the entrances opened up, and I'm going to let you just enjoy the process. going to be kind of a small bar, but I figured I'd put it underneath the stairs since there's not going to be a window behind there anyway. I can't really have a window behind the bar because you're going to have all the drinks and all that, so kind of kill two birds with one stone. Just doing a little bit of decorating. I'm just kind of getting things laid out at this point, figure out where all the windows are going to be so that when I do the outside I don't need to end up changing anything. And kind of figure out where we're going to want some tables and chairs. Going with a jungle theme, so I'm using the jungle wood floor and the bamboo, which also goes perfect with the scaffolding, so it matches the tables real nicely. And the upstairs I'm going to turn into apartments for some villagers, so get working up here. First I figure out kind of the hallway. And then I get separating some little apartments. They're not going to be huge, but definitely going to be nicer than living in a villager trading hall or anything like that. And I put these roofs on just to make it easy, and I ended up with this whole little section up here which I didn't plan on having, so that's a bonus, and we'll end up doing something with that at some point. But yeah, like I said, these aren't going to be huge rooms or anything, but they're big enough. You can do enough with a 3x4 room to make it comfortable. I'm putting some boats in here so that I can try to catch some zombie villagers. Go ahead and get set up in the beach area as well so I can bring them in there. And if I'm going the curing zombie route, I'm going to need some potions of weakness, and I didn't have any brown mushrooms, so I need to go to the nether to get a bunch of them. Got a few ender pearls while I was at it. Spent some time getting the potions made, and then for the sake of editing, I'm kind of going out of order here. I'll spend the next few daytimes just staying busy doing farming and placing a few leaves around the beach area. Just waiting for nighttime, because my mission right now was to find some zombie villagers. So I'd get running around this area out here, and I was just hunting. Creepers were always a bonus, because I don't have a creeper farm, so any gunpowder is nice as well. So lots of time fighting mobs out here. And after a few nights, the phantoms came out, and one knocked me out of the way when I was trying to hit this creeper, so I didn't hit him, and they got me. Kind of annoying, but a couple more nights of hunting, and I wasn't having much luck finding the zombie villagers I wanted to find, but I think it was night 5 that I actually found some. It was only a couple, but better than nothing. Got them up here and trapped in their boats. Gave them their medicine. And went back hunting. But I went a couple more nights without finding any villagers, so I kind of decided to nix that plan. I went ahead and opened the room up between these guys, gave them some carrots so they were nice and fed, and let them get to baby making. So I got 5 beds up here total, so in theory they should breed until they got 5 villagers up here total. They only breed as many beds as they have, so that's kind of how you can control the count of them. So I don't ever need a villager breeder or anything, because just place another bed down and make sure they're hungry, and they'll always make another baby for you. So we'll lock them in up there for now. And now it's time to finally get the outside looking pretty. And once again, I'm just going to kind of let you enjoy. On the bottom floor, I decided to go with copper as the decoration color, and it just kind of creates the vibe for the whole building, and I think it looks really good. I'm going to let it all oxidize to blue to see what I like better. I'll wax it if I need to. I think it'll be kind of fun having it change color, and we'll see which I like better. But I think it looks good right now as orange, and it works well with the acacia. But we went upstairs to knock out some windows, and you can see the villagers have been going to work. Got 5 of them up here at this point, but we're working on the outside for now. And on the top floor, we stayed with the spruce just because I didn't want to go too crazy with the copper. And I'm glad I did. I think it balanced things out pretty well. I also went a little simpler with the flower pots, just to keep it from getting too busy. Didn't want to have too much going on. And I got some flowers planted, including some pitcher pods here, and I love how it came out here. I really like the copper and the orange, and the copper just really pops. It's fun to work with. The raw copper just looked really good, I think. Yeah, we'll take a little flight out here so we can get a bird's eye view. I think it's looking pretty good, and like I've said, it's just really getting me excited to fill this whole area in with buildings, and it's going to end up looking really nice. I got a little work I want to do on the roof here, which I'll get done here in a second. And yeah, you can see we got the other side looking just as good. And now we're going to do one last little push on the interior here to make it feel a little more like a tavern. So we'll get our villager workstations hiding behind the bar here, so we'll have a cleric as the bartender, and a butcher, and some fishermen selling their food, and a weaponsmith will be kind of the doorman. So we got our 5 villagers planned out, and got it looking a little more like a bar. Get some racks of beer and some kegs there, and the signs will kind of be where the menu is. Got a little stage made over here, karaoke or whatever. Just did a few things to make it look a little better. Went with the gray banners behind the stage here, kind of act like a curtain. I think it looked really good. Just a couple last finishing touches, a couple more splashes of color, and get a little shape around the door here. And I think we got things looking pretty good down here. I'll probably come back some point and try to do even a little more, but I'm happy with what we got. But a couple more things I want to get done on the outside. One is straightening out the road in front of the entrances on both sides here. Start spreading some grass around a bit, making the land look a little more natural here. And then made the entrances so they're not grass, just to look a little more complete. I think the building's looking great. I really like what we got done here. Last couple things, which I think this is such an easy thing to do and ends up just totally changing the vibe in such a good way. Got some trees planted, and now it's a cool little forest tavern. I think having the trees around make a humongous difference for something so easy. And then I extended the tops of the roofs out a little bit just to make it so it's not just a straight line up the whole roof. Just give it a little more shape. I think it's looking really good. I'm very happy with how the build turned out here. I've been so busy the last month. I've been working on my first 100 days video, which if you haven't watched, go and watch that. I put a lot of work into it, and it was lots of fun. But it's been nice coming back into this world and just having all my materials already gathered and just be able to jump into a build and just really get going on it. Yeah, we'll take one more flight for a bird's eye view. And another thing I think the trees did that was huge was give a backdrop to kind of separate it from the beach area. So now it'll give a little line between the beach area and the city behind it as we get all these other buildings going. It'll keep them separate. Yeah, I like the view from this side as well, especially with the house in the background there. And off camera, I went ahead and released the villagers. So I put in these gates and got them trapped in here so they're nice and safe. And now they can go to their workstations and have a little bit of place to enjoy life. Like I said, a lot better than a villager trading hall. I'll come up here and detail their apartments at some point. I'll have pretty much a whole episode dedicated to villagers here before too long, I imagine, which I'll probably be doing all that stuff, but definitely got the tavern looking cool down here, I think. And yeah, overall, this has been a really fun episode for me. I've just had my head down working on this the whole time, start to finish, and I think it turned out really good, and I'm really happy with it. So, as always, I really appreciate you all coming along, especially those of you that stick it out to the bitter end here. And yeah, with that, we're going to call it an episode. So, thanks again for coming, and have a good day.